Noco GBX75 one charge, and a quick check I find out that this component here is burned, and let's check it. This is another good Noco, and it has this good component. We're going to take it and test it to see what kind is it, a transistor, MOSFET, or is a diode. And let's check this component in the tester and see what it is. This Noco has been opened before. I think it has just one regular issue that we fix usually for the GPX, but that customer, I think, it took it apart and causing more damage to the board. And hopefully we can fix this unit. Let's do some hot air, but we need to be quick because this charger port, it has a big plastic here, and that's as easy to melt. So we're going to use the hot air with the solder iron to be quick as possible we can. Come on, click it. We knock out this low ohm resistor here. I'm going to solder it and this testing board just to see what kind is a MOSFET or transistor, and is a NPN or PNP or what kind of the transistor it is. We solder just, and let's test it. Becoming the most capped French international in history. Right back is potentially a troublesome position, but Jules Koundé is deemed sufficiently comfortable to continue. He's our double diode. Formidable midfield, and it would be foolish to focus only on Mbappe. Olivier Giroud, their all-time leading goal scorer, leads the attack. So we're gonna need a double diode for that. And we know what it is now. So let me look to see if I can find any double diode that size. This is a double diode. I'm going to replace it with a regular diode. So these two pads here are touching each other. As you can see. see the resistance over there. 2 ohm. And this side of this is the ground. Two ohm. So the diode is facing that way, and I'm going to use a regular diode. So that's the diode we put. Yeah, after I replace this double diode, so I put a big diode here. Still the device is still not charging. Let's plug it to the charge and we see where that 20 volt. Yeah, and the amp meter over there. So on the amp meter over there it shows 20 volt, about 50 milliamp, and we're gonna see where that 20 volt. Stop it if we can find out. I'll check where is that 20 volt. I'm using the capacitor ground as the ground to check. Yeah, the amp meter shows still taking 20 volt. Okay, 20 volt here. So usually is the two big traces. One big trace here and one big trace here. That's the 20 volt input. Okay. So we have 20 volt. So this MOSFET it work the 20 volt here, and we find the 20 volt other side. 20 volt and 20 volt. These two MOSFETs good. 20 volt in these capacitors. $13 volt that side. That's the battery. In this capacitor, this is the battery voltage. And if we check in the battery connector, yeah, 14 volt. So it's the same, kind of the same as here. $13.6. We have a low ohm resistor here. So that resistor it work because it's allowed to the 20 volt that this side to go to this side. we have a big trace going to this MOSFET, 20 volt, and the output of this MOSFET is a 0. This coil we have 0 volt, 0 volt, 13 volt, another low ohm resistor. We have 13 volt this side. And what's the other side? 13 volt. So that 13 voltage go to this MOSFET and go to the other side of the MOSFET. We don't have it. So 13 volt is coming to this from the battery, is coming to this MOSFET. 20 volt is coming to this MOSFET. But this MOSFET here, it should allow the 20 volt to go to here to charge the battery, but it doesn't. Yeah, these MOSFETs, they should have like a signal, like from the gate, they should go open and close. And there should be IC controlling them. Or maybe this IC here, this big one. So let's just follow one trace. This MOSFET, this trace is the source. These three here is the drain, and this is the gate. It's go to this 5 ohm resistor, and it's go to this bridge point. Let's go to right here, the middle one. And it's go to another bridge point right here. Let's go to the other side of the board again, and it's go to this IC. All right. Oh, this is a hole. Yeah, this is a hole. See that? This is a burn mark in the IC. So this IC is burned. So one of these points here, so let's check which one is going to that the gate of the MOSFET. It's the same if we test from this side of the resistor, or this side is the same, because we have just 5 ohm here. So let's do this one, is more easy for me. And it's go to one of these point, this one here or this one here. All right, it's here. So this IC is controlling the gate of that MOSFET. So that's the second MOSFET, and let's see where it's if it's the same IC. No, it's not here. Nope. What about this side? one of these pins. It's kind of harder for me to, let me see. Maybe the number 2. Yep. So this IC is controlling the 2 MOSFETs that's allowing the charge to go to the battery, and this IC is burned. 9238C1. So let's search for that chip. Is 9238C1, I think. Yeah, look like that's the chip. And it said is a voltage battery charger. Is a USB battery charger. (9238C). Alright, yeah, it's go between 2 volt to 18 volt, and is a USB-C charger. So that's what we need. You can see here the chip is controlling 2 MOSFETs, or 4 MOSFETs. So this is 2 MOSFETs in the input, the 20 volt input, and these MOSFETs to the VCS and the VBAT. There is another MOSFET for the battery. So we're gonna replace this IC, and we'll go from there. And before that, I'm gonna disconnect the battery because I don't want any accident over this. What's the voltage in this 2 battery connector? It's a 14 volt. Yeah, we need to disconnect these 2 big wires. Some pads start melting, the other ones still low. There is a little bit difference between that chip and this one. This is C1 and that's one is a H. Yeah, when I check the data sheet for this IC is the same pins. It's work for USB-C and all the specs looks the same. Because I can't find the C1 here in US. Yep, it starts melting. Okay. I'm gonna give it a small push. And I think it looks good now. Now you see this pad here, it looks like it's not soldered. Second one. Alright, I soldered the battery wires. The device still turns on fine. And, let's plug the charger and see what it's doing. After I changed the IC, still the device stuck at the 30 milliamp. Here this resistor is look like not okay. So this is a 2 ohm resistor. Okay. So this resistor here tested about like 3 ohm. This one here, it tests 400 ohm. But from here to here, it tests like 1 ohm. I don't know if that's normal. So let's replace that resistor. That low ohm between the two resistors is linked to the bad controller chip. I don't have any replacement here, and they don't have any like replacement board for this Noco GBX. And the repair is done at this point. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching and see you.